Xiao Yan, relying on the Tianshan blood pool, not only broke through to the level of Dou Zong, but also advanced his cultivation of the 3,000 thunder illusions to an advanced stage. Continuing from the last encounter, as the opening of the Tianshan blood pool draws near, Nalan Yanran finds herself marginalized by a 7-star Dao Huang due to her insufficient strength. However, fortunately, Xiao Yan arrives just in time and delivers a punch that sends the intruder flying. As they witness the white-clad figure crumpled on the ground, a chill runs down the spines of onlookers. While Xiao Yan's blow may not have been fatal, it effectively incapacitates his opponent. Meanwhile, Feng Qing with an icy glare, remarks sarcastically, "You're quite domineering, aren't you? My Wind Lightning Pavilion's way of doing things probably can't compare to yours." In response to Feng Qing's taunt, Xiao Yan smiles and replies, "It's survival of the fittest, after all. But compared to the dominance of the Wind Lightning Pavilion, I must admit I fall short. Mobilizing several Dou Zong powerhouses at once to besiege me is quite the grand gesture, something not easily matched. If it weren't for the imminent appearance of the Tianshan blood pool, I would really like to personally test how far you can go on Tianmu Mountain without relying on external forces." Feng Qing remarks. Xiao Yan retorts, "Miss Feng is welcome to find out any time." Seeing Xiao Yan's carefree demeanor, Feng Qing was instantly furious. However, with the Tianshan blood pool about to appear, she must seize the opportunity to enter it. She suppresses her anger for now and joins Xiao Yan, who has calmly approached Nalan Yanran. "Are you all right?" Xiao Yan asks, concern evident in his smile. Nalan Yanran, nervously gazing at his smiling face, suddenly feels a pang of warmth in her heart. This sensation of being protected by a man seems entirely different from what Yun had offered her. It's a feeling she once thought she could enjoy for a lifetime, but ultimately destroyed with her own hands. Then, a barely audible voice escaped her lips. "Isn't this just reaping what I've sown?" As Nalan Yanran looks at Xiao Yan, about to speak, a sudden thunderous boom reverberates through the air. At that moment, the volcano's mouth is engulfed in a rich array of colorful light. Simultaneously, the figure of Jin Shi streaks rapidly from a distance. "Now is the best time to enter the Tianshan blood pool. Let's move," he declares. As soon as the words fell, Feng Qing and the others swiftly dashed towards the blood pool like lightning. Shortly after, Xiao Yan also grabbed Nalan Yanran behind him and flew out rapidly. In passing, he advised her, "Once inside, make sure to absorb the energy quickly and do not venture too deep into the Tianshan blood pool." Gazing at the eerie blood pool, a fervent gleam flickered in Xiao Yan's eyes, and he couldn't help but exclaim, "Truly deserving of its reputation as a miraculous place that aids breakthroughs. Such astonishing energy convergence, it's unlike anything I've ever seen." Turning his head towards Nalan Yanran, Xiao Yan smiled and said, "You should go in too. Although you haven't reached the pinnacle of Dao Huang, there are still benefits for you inside." Nalan Yanran nodded slightly and whispered to Xiao Yan, "Thank you. If you ever need to find my teacher, you might want to visit the Flower Sect." Xiao Yan pondered. The Flower Sect? Is that one of the 2 renowned sects, I suppose? Watching Nalan Yanran disappear into the blood pool, Xiao Yan was momentarily stunned. After quickly etching her words into his mind, he leaped into the pool. Feeling the intense heat emanating from the red liquid around him, Xiao Yan's expression turned grave. Although he had encountered fire poison in the heaven-burning refining Qi Tower before, the intensity here was clearly on a different level. Otherwise, they wouldn't have tortured gold-eating rat, a 7-star Dou Zong, into the state he's in now. Lost in thought, Xiao Yan had already submerged to the bottom of the blood pool. Fortunately, with the protection of the crystal lotus heart fire, he remained unharmed. He immediately entered a state of cultivation. Under the roasting of the crystal lotus heart fire, the originally toxic blood-red liquid instantly transformed into pure energy streams. In just a few days, his strength soared to the peak of 9-star Dou Huang. However, as time passed, Xiao Yan suddenly woke from his cultivation state. He noticed that the soul seed of the 3,000 thunder illusions in his brow seemed to be growing stronger. With a flick of his finger, he summoned the avatar, and surrounding blood-red energy poured into its body as if drawn to it. At this moment, Xiao Yan realized that the avatar's aura was rapidly increasing at a visible rate. With this rate of growth, coupled with the refining of the fallen heart flame, it wouldn't be long before it reached an advanced level. If the Wind-Lightning Northern Pavilion's Fei Tian knew about this, he would likely be furious. After all, it took him nearly 5 years to achieve what Xiao Yan accomplished in less than half a year. The difference between them was like night and day. However, Dou Zong and Dou Huang were fundamentally different levels. If Xiao Yan could truly break through this time, the distance between him and Fei Tian wouldn't be insurmountable anymore. Moreover, reaching the level of Dou Zong would significantly increase his success rate in refining 7th-tier pills. With such strength, even participating in the pill meeting organized by the Pill Tower, Xiao Yan was confident he could make it into the top 10. The thought of the benefits of reaching Dou Zong made Xiao Yan's heart burn with even greater fervor, and he plunged back into his intense cultivation state. Meanwhile, after spending 5 days in the blood pool, Feng Qing and the others gradually left the area one after another. Judging from their appearances, it seemed they had gained considerable benefits from this soaking in the blood pool. As for Nalen Yanren, she stayed for only 3 days before her energy reached saturation, and she had to leave the pool. Then, after waiting for Xiao Yan for nearly 2 months in Tianmu Mountain without success, she also departed. At this moment, only Jin Shi and Jin Gu of the gold-eating rat clan remained, having waited for over 2.5 months. And now, Jin Shi, who had been waiting anxiously for Xiao Yan's return, could hardly contain himself any longer. If Xiao Yan really encounters an accident at the bottom of the pool, who else can I turn to for help with the fire poison in my body? With this thought nagging at him, Jin Shi decided to go down and investigate. Just then, a majestic aura slowly emanated from the bottom of the blood pool. Fixing his gaze on the increasingly terrifying vortex, Jin Shi muttered in a low voice, "Is he coming out?" No sooner had he spoken than a column of water suddenly shot up into the sky. Then a lean figure emerged, hovering in the air with poised grace. Sensing the overwhelming power emanating from him, whispers of awe and envy echoed throughout the Tianmu mountain range. Dou Zong. It's worth noting that Dou Zong is the true watershed among the strong in the Central Plains continent. For Xiao Yan to achieve this level at his age was an achievement that already overshadowed his peers. Standing in midair, his eyes closed, Xiao Yan was surrounded by a palpable aura, yet remained as still as a statue. Observing this, Jingu also flashed a look of surprise. Xiao Yan had clearly advanced successfully, but why did he still appear like this? Despite Jingu being considerably stronger than Xiao Yan, he still couldn't discern what had happened to him. Meanwhile, the newly advanced Xiao Yan had become highly sensitive to spiritual forces. He once again sensed the faint soul imprint left by the elder pill within the fire imprint on his brow. This fire imprint was left when the elder pill was captured, and this condition was not unprecedented. When Xiao Yan broke through to Dou Huang, he used this imprint to glimpse the mysterious hall where the elder pill was captured. However, due to his weak spiritual power at the time, the scene was blurry. But this time, everything was crystal clear. Inside the hall were dozens of massive black stone pillars, each imprisoning a soul with chains. This sight sent shivers down Xiao Yan's spine, as the pillars seemed to feed on these souls as if they were nourishment. As Xiao Yan continued to search with his spiritual power, he finally saw that somewhat familiar face again. It had been 3 or 4 years since the elder pill was captured, and the thought of the suffering he had endured during these years filled Xiao Yan with a pang of heartache and overwhelming hatred. After all, Xiao Yan's achievements today owed much to the elder pill. As the saying goes, a teacher for a day is a father for life, and Xiao Yan truly regarded him as a father. As Xiao Yan gazed, the slumbering elder pill seemed to respond by slowly opening his eyes, staring blankly into the void, his body trembling uncontrollably. Seeing the elder pill in this state, Xiao Yan couldn't contain the sadness in his heart any longer, and knelt before him, bowing in midair. "Master!" Xiao Yan cried. "I am powerless to save you!" The elder pill replied, Young man, you've done remarkably well. Taking you as my disciple was the best decision I ever made. Master, rest assured I will come to save you as soon as possible. But just as Xiao Yan's words fell, a hoarse voice echoed through the hall. Perhaps you're not qualified to do so. Suddenly, a vast pressure descended, and an elderly figure in purple robes appeared. Glancing at Xiao Yan, he paused for a moment, then exclaimed in surprise, "Are you the same soul force from back then? I never expected that you, who couldn't even handle a soul wave like mine, have returned here again. It seems you've grown stronger since then, but it's still not enough." Xiao Yan retorted angrily, "Next time I come, I will repay all the suffering my master has endured." The purple-robed elder sneered, "We'll see." With a sudden grasp of his hand, the soul power belonging to Xiao Yan vanished into thin air. As Xiao Yan's dissipating figure vanished, a look of contentment spread across the elder Pill's face. Facing a Dou Zong powerhouse without fear showed how much Xiao Yan had grown over the years. The elder Pill faintly felt that the next time his disciple appeared, it wouldn't be as soul power, but his true self. Seeing the contentment on the elder Pill's face, the purple-robed elder frowned, feeling an inexplicable unease. The elder Pill glanced at him and chuckled. "Feeling uneasy, Qin Tian? Yao Chen, you'd better mind your own business. If it weren't for the Lord valuing your alchemy skills, would you have survived until now? I'm not as soft as you. A wise man knows the time for action. If you could join the Hall of Souls, your status would surely surpass mine. Why suffer here? Do you really think your disciple can make it here?" "It's all just speculation until the time comes." "Fine. I'll wait for his arrival. But before that, I hope he can survive the Hall of Souls' pursuit." With a flick of his sleeve, he disappeared into the distorted space, leaving behind an eerie silence. As Xiao Yan's soul power crumbled, he finally slowly opened his eyes, a surge of killing intent reflected in his jet-black gaze. "Master, wait for me," Xiao Yan said. "The purple-robed elder I saw this time is the first Dou Zong powerhouse I've ever encountered." Although the immense pressure was terrifying, at least it confirmed that the elder Pill is still safe for now. But if I wait a few more years to rescue him, it's hard to say what might happen. So Xiao Yan planned to seek help from the Dou Zong of Wind at the Four Pavilions assembly. But for now, he had to remove the fire poison from gold-eating rat clan's Jin Shi. After informing them of the necessary herbs, Xiao Yan also inquired from Jin Shi about the whereabouts of Xuner's family, the Gu family. Unexpectedly, the simple words, "Gu family," made Jin Shi break out in a cold sweat. The Gu family wasn't like the Wind Lightning Pavilion. Offending them might lead to dire consequences beyond imagination. From Jin Shi, Xiao Yan learned that the Gu family is rumored to have the bloodline of Dou Di, which would bring changes to the bloodline and benefit their descendants. The Gu family didn't care much about ranking among the continent's powers, but their strength was unquestionable, with numerous strong members. If one were to look for forces capable of contending with them, even across the Dao-Chi continent, they would be few and far between. The Gu family's headquarters is located in the eastern region of the Central Plains, where most forces are affiliated with the Gu family. However, they don't often manage affairs because most Gu family members reside in the Ancient Realm. The Ancient Realm is a space created by the Gu family's Dao Sheng-level powerhouse. After countless years of reinforcement and expansion, its size is comparable to the Northern Domain. Hearing this, Xiao Yan was slightly surprised. While he could guess that Xuner's background wasn't weak, he hadn't expected the Gu family to be so formidable. However, Xiao Yan wouldn't be daunted by their strength. Xuner had waited for him for so many years. He had to visit no matter how formidable they were. "After rescuing Elder Pill, I'll go to the Gu family. I don't care how special they are, they're still human," Xiao Yan declared. Over the next few days, Xiao Yan successfully removed the fire poison from Jin Shi's body. Seeing Jin Shi's improved spirits, Xiao Yan suddenly remembered the demonic spot in his own body. It had plagued him for many years, and while he hadn't found a Dou Zong powerhouse yet, he had ascended to Dou Zong. He wondered if he could rely on his own strength to refine the demonic spot, which harbored the lifelong Dou Qi of a Dou Zong powerhouse. If he could obtain it, it would be a great tonic for him.